Hello everyone, I am RobtheMod and this is part 74 of Gran Turismo 6 on the PlayStation 3. And this time we're going to... well, we could finish the GT All-Stars Championship. And basically get the golds in these races here. But no, we're not going to bother with that. At least not in this one. What we're going to do is we're going to... I checked the mission races. Of course, there's 5 of them. Not going to do those in this episode, which is kind of annoying because now it's going to make me think that I've done them, but I haven't. We're going to do the one make races here. So there's only 2 of these. So we've got the Elise Trophy and the Corvette Festival. Okay. Do we have a Elise? No, we don't have an Elise. So we need to get one of those. And we also need to... I forgot that these don't literally give you the car that you need. We have one of these though. I'm pretty sure. Yes, we do. But that's not the car that we use for that situation, because we should probably get the Corvette Stingray 14. I'm pretty sure we already had one of those, but I guess we didn't. So we need to get an Elise, and we need to get a... Anyway, let's reset all of this then, because we don't need to... Actually, let's turn that up to no limit and not down. And we're gonna disable this, because what we're just gonna do is we're gonna type in actually we're just gonna do manufacturer name Lotus, and then we'll do it's Chevrolet, isn't it, that makes the Corvette. Lotus. No, I didn't go past it. There we go. 20 cars matching the results. Right. Here we go. Well, that's an Elise race car, so we'll buy this. Is there any colours we can get? No, it has to be white apparently. Okay. There we go. Nice. New car acquired. Right. Well, I'm not going to use it just... well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it as like... yes, I want to use the car now. But we're going to get the Corvette first. And then we're done, aren't we? We've got both cars that we need. Right, so go back, and manufacturer name will be Chevrolet. So let's go up, and there we go. And there's 34 cars in the game that are by Chevy. Let's not pick that, because that's kind of ridiculous. Oh, this is the... okay, that's what we have then. I was a bit confused. I was like, what the hell? You know, why do I have this? And I was like, because of the NASCAR event. That's why. Can I actually pick the... hang on a second. Let's go back and we'll have a look. Can we pick the race car? Because if we can pick the race car, then I might as well pick the race car, because it's the fastest car in the game. Not in the game. It's the fastest car in the thing, you know. I don't think I can, unless I scroll. No, I can. I can pick the ZR1 race car. Okay. Well, apparently after I sneeze, which I should have cut out in editing, but still, I sneezed. Yeah. Let's pick the race car then, which I don't really want to, but because we're gonna have just less than 1 million credits now. But whatever. We need these cars to do the event, and then we're not going to get the money back for them. So I guess we're going to have to be doing some other events soon. No, I don't want to use the car yet. Because of course there is no, well, if you could get money, you can't get it now. Like buying, you know, credits. Right, anyway, so we're going to do the one make races, like I said. So, we're going to start with the Lotus Elise. We need sports hard tyres, okay. How do I change that? I forgot. Oh, it'd be in garage somewhere, won't it? Presumably, car settings. Because it's, what was it? Sports hard, I think. There we go. Oh, I've got to purchase these yet. Okay then. Fair enough, if you want me to do that. Can I do it now? No, not mission races, that was stupid of me. There we go. Right, let's do this. This is either going to go really well or really badly. It's on Brands Hatch. I didn't actually even see what track we were going to be on. Please be the long version of Brands Hatch. Yes, literally, I'm the only one in the race car variant. Who would have guessed? Well, it's not the long version. Oh, that's annoying. I don't know if I've mentioned this before in a video. Like I said, the first 68, it's been such a long time. I have no idea what I said in them. But yeah, Brands Hatch. I remember playing. I think it has different names depending on where you are. In the UK, it was TOCA Race Car Championship. Or no, TOCA Race Driver. Sorry, because it became Race Driver Grid, and then it became the Grid Series. Because that was great. You know, with them renaming. Oh no, it is the. We have got the long version of the track. Okay. Well, that's good. But yeah, what I was trying to say there before I was interrupted by myself is that yeah, that game. I played the first one on PS2. I never played 2 or 3. I should have. I should get those. Then again, I don't have the first one anymore. But I probably should end up getting those at some point. Because I did enjoy the first one, even if I didn't play it that much. The thing that I don't know why I enjoyed it, it's just, this sounds awful, but like, if you ever watched the opening cutscene to it, I mean, first of all, these days it looks, I mean, I remember watching it recently and I was like, at the time, that was great graphics for the cutscene. It's not, it's horrific. But yeah, just the fact that it had like a proper story mode as like a racing game. Like, I know that's weird to say considering I've done, you know, Need Speed Most Wanted and Carbon and stuff, and those have proper stories. But you know, you think of this game, Gran Turismo, it's not like you do whatever races you want. There's not really a story. Whereas that was like a racing game a bit like this, and it had a proper story. Even if it was just like the occasional cutscene, because the story was that essentially you watched your dad be killed in a car accident in a race, and then for some reason, bear in mind you're like 5 or 6, whatever the age of you, and then you decide anyway that you're gonna grow up and become a race driver anyway. Whatever. But yeah, that was the plot of that game. And I think you got revenge on the like driver that did it or something. But yeah, it was called TOCA Race Driver, TOCA. I don't know how it's pronounced. I always pronounce it TOCA Race Driver when I was talking to people, and we were kids, so we probably didn't correct ourselves because I suppose it's on TV, but I don't know. Don't know if that's not even the. I think I've seen adverts where like. For it where it's pronounced that way. I could be wrong, but yeah. I think there was one for like a Nissan at one point where that was the Nissan Premier or something that had it pronounced that way. Anyway, the point of basically what I was saying is that like in Germany it was called DTM Race Driver or something. You know, they had different titles depending on where you were. I don't even know if it came out in America, to be honest. It was a Codemasters game, of course, which Codemasters owned by EA now, and the developers of the F1 series and Dirt and also well, Race Driver. So yeah, the continuation of that series. I don't know if that was actually the first game in the series, because I think they did some on PS1 that weren't like, they were like Chocker branded, but they weren't like the you know what I mean, like they're technically the same series, but they're not the same. You know what I mean, like they're the same series, but they're a different style of game, if you know what I mean. They're just proper simulation games, I think. Well, as much as a PS1 game can be a proper simulation. But yeah, I'll have to get the PS2 ones again. Don't know if I'll ever do them on the channel, because I sometimes I get PS2 games and I'm like, I'm going to do a video on that, and then I'm like, well, I only really do Let's Plays these days. I don't really do individual games as a one-off, unless it's, you know, something absolutely special. Like, I did Thrill Drive, because that was an arcade game, and it was, you know, it's apparently emulatable now on the PS2 emulation. Because it's, if you don't know, that game is basically PS2 hardware inside an arcade cabinet. Which surprises a lot of people. And also, I don't even know if that game came out in the US. To be honest, I'm confused myself, because it was a game that it was a game by Konami, and that was a racing game. If you've never seen Thrill Drive, look it up on the channel. That was certainly a game that was very, very interesting. Like, because what it was that you know, like, you know, like the original Burnout and Burnout 2. Well, the Burnout series in general, up until about Paradise. If you think of those, but it was like an arcade game, and it came out before. It was literally the game that Criterion had in their office that inspired them to make Burnout. And yeah, we're going to do this then now. Anyway, we got to. No, apparently we don't have the car. But we bought it. Oh, we've got to get soft or less tyres. Okay then. Well, I'll change that. I mean, it's kind of a shame that we're changing a race car to do this, but soft. Was it? Well, this better be the right tyres. I didn't see if it said racing or sports or whatever, but yeah, that's the right type of tyres then. Okay, let's see how this goes. But yeah, Thrill Drive, it was like an arcade, but it was a game that I only ever saw it once at an arcade near me, and I only played it like, no, I didn't see one. I saw it like 2 or 3 times, but it was one of those games where it was like a Japanese cabinet, even though it was actually released over here in the UK. But it was all in Japanese, so I never knew the name of it, and I only saw it like once or twice when I played it. But something just stuck out in my mind with just when you crash. Unlike Burnout, when you crash, you just have this horrific screaming sound, and yeah, it just stuck out to me. And I never knew what the name of it was for years. All I remember is that it was by Konami, and it was an arcade racing game, and I don't think it came out in America, so there was never really that much information online about it. Now, I did find information from I did find like an arcade flyer from Konami with like a UK web address, but it was like the Japanese cabinet, like I said. So I assume that like it was just like these Japanese cabinets that they decided to take over. The game was completely in English, by the way. But yeah, I've done a video on it on the channel. 2 videos technically, because I did one with commentary and one without commentary. But yeah, technically PS2 compatible, I guess. I don't know if I can run it on a standard PS2, but it works on the PS2 emulator because the arcade machine is basically a PS2. You do have to technically modify the emulator with some extra code that goes in, or there's like a variant of it, I should say. But it works, and I did a video on it, and it was a fun game, and I would love to actually try that on my actual PS2, if it's possible. Here we go, let me get past some of these other Corvettes here. Cheating our way to victory. In fact, isn't this where we did that other race last time? Where we had where I had to race the other Corvette. It was on this track, wasn't it? And the other Corvette almost tried to spin me out in the last episode. Not the last episode, the episode last week. The second episode last week. Sorry, it's because I'm recording, obviously, 2 at the same time. So, even though... like, in my head, I'm like, oh, this is all one video, even though it's not. And I've done this for ages, so I don't know why I would think like that. But, yeah. That's why I got a little bit confused there. Hitting the brakes. This is the corner that I hate on this track. Because you'd think you can go flat out on it, but no. You will very easily fall off the edge. And in fact, I've done that many times throughout the Let's Play. That's what I remember. I remember this track and going off on that corner a lot. Especially in a Vision Gran Turismo car of some kind. You know what I'm going to do? There we go. We'll get an interior view, because I do that in Forza Horizon as well. I'm like, occasionally I want to switch to interior. So there we go, we've got a nice little shot. That's the issue with this game though, is not all the cars have an interior. They all have like a view like this, but you can't see like the wheel or the gauges or anything like that. Basically, it's the view from the PSP version of the game when it has an interior. Like, if you've never played Gran Turismo on the PSP, it's literally just called Gran Turismo. But the difference with that one is that I've gone off the track again. I've lost it. I just let the car finish there because I was like, how have the AI not caught up to me? I was like, I've lost the back end of the car. I'm just going to let it spin and I'm just going to hope that I'm facing the right direction. And that's exactly what happened. I did try and fight it briefly at the start, you will have saw, but I didn't. As soon as I realised it was completely going into a spin, I was like, there's nothing I can do in this situation. Basically, got to let it go. And the reason I did that is, well, the Toyota 7 in the last episode, but also it's sort of what I was taught when I did go-karting. I've mentioned this before. I did go-karting because there's a go-kart track near me, and you have to obviously go through a driver's safety meeting. And bear in mind, I was like 12 when I did this, 12 or 13, and if I have the picture, I might actually put it up. I'll obviously blur my face and anyone else that's in it because it's I don't really want to put an image of myself on the internet like that, but it's on Facebook, so whatever. Anyway, my point though is that I did this, and obviously they're like, oh, by the way, if the go-kart spins out, don't try and fight it, just let the go-kart spin out and just go on. Like, hopefully you'll spin out and you'll be on the edge of the track and you won't get hit by anyone else. I was like, great. This seems incredibly safe. Right, but we're almost finished here anyway. Come on, car. Finish. We just got this lap to go, and then we're good. Come on. Oh, last bit of cornering there. Gonna hit the brakes as well. And we're going to go off again. There we go. Got it back on the track. 27 seconds. How are we 27 seconds ahead? I mean, I know it's a race car and it's overpowered, and but really? Is the AI that bad? He says going off the track. That again. That's what happened last time. Come on, go. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna lose, but that would have been terrible if I actually had AI behind me. Oh, that's handbrake. Apparently R1 is handbrake. For some, I was like, what's the look back button? It's not triangle. Do I not have a look back button? Whatever. Done it now. Won the race. Gonna finish. Anyway, I've been RobtheMod. Thank you very much for watching part 74 of Gran Turismo 6 on the PlayStation 3, and I will see you next week for more. Ta-ra!